so grateful that I had kids, because it kind of got me understanding more of that working life balance, and also forced me into really think about that work-life balance. With the birth came, something that I didn't expect, like that. I was thinking, that will be almost like another business, but there's much more emotion with kids in terms of you can't leave them the way I thought maybe I could, and that's why I bring them on trips now, and I find it really difficult to go away without one child, so I often bring a child with me on my business trip. So they've kind of grown up in this business environment, and they think they can do anything in the world, which is so amazing.
Isn't that so great? I often say to Stace, when, and as mums, we're constantly, you're torn where you feel a bit guilty if you're away from them longer than you want to be. And I said, our kids are actually growing up watching us kick ass and do what we want.
Absolutely.
And I think that, and I grew up with my mum doing that.
Yeah.
And I go, why can't we do it? Let's just do it.
Absolutely.
And to give that to our kids.
Yeah, amazing gift.
And if we can't help out and do, go to all the excursions with them.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
It's not, because I vividly remember Mum was a single mum, and she would work so much, but in my mind she was never not there.
Yeah, no.
And I hope my boys are like that, even though I work quite hard and I'm not able to go to everything. I hope that they don't remember me not being there. I hope they go, Mum was working doing this, but she came to this excursion.
Yeah,
she did
exactly.
that.
And I think you just have to decide what you are fine with, and doesn't mean like you have to do every single thing. There's a lot of socializing around school. I don't really have time for that, but I make sure if I'm in town, I'll go to assembly every Friday, for example. That's one thing that I do and I love, and if I can pick them up, I always try to do that. So you just have to choose the things that is important to you, and then talk about all the stuff that the way I talk about it is like the reason why we can do all this is because we work so hard. So and they're so aware, and we always bring it back to be grateful to what we have. So I think that's also a really good thing.
Which is so hard.
Yeah.
I've noticed my son lately, he'll lose something. He goes, "That's okay, we can get a new one."
Yeah.
Same.
And I'm like, "No, mate, it doesn't work like that."
No.
They're so lucky, and they're so privileged. But he's only 6, so he's like, "We're just getting more," and I'm like, trying to talk to a kid about money at that age, where it's like, "No, mate, no."
Yeah. But I think it'll sink in eventually, and if we do a grateful every night at dinner, and so since they were like being able to talk, they have been talking about gratefuls every single night at dinner, and that makes such a difference, because and also they know if you are giving examples every night at dinner, then that will sink in. And that will, even if a 6-year-old might not be able to express it.
But he'd be grateful for the lollies that he had that day.
And that's fine, that's fine. That's their reality. But eventually I feel like a lot of things that I've said in the past is now coming out. And you don't think that, but once they turn older, it's like, it's good. You can see it.
It's also, when I fell pregnant, I thought my career was over.
Yeah.
I felt like I wasn't established enough in what I was doing, which it was radio.
Yeah.
And I remember going, shit, it's all over. I'm out of the game.
Yeah.
And it's just so far from the actual truth of it,
absolutely,
isn't it? We've still got so far to go when it comes to supporting women who are having babies, which actually is interesting. How do you handle that in your company?
So we do like what what we have to do in terms of the 12 months giving maternity leave that you have to do.
Holding the position for them?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right,
yeah. And then we do things, because we are a small business and we don't have the financial background in terms of giving them, in Sweden you get paid, but that's government funded. So that will be a dream to one day be able to do, but we can't do that yet. But we give like newborns for nappies for newborn, not the other way around.
Right.
But trying to support things like that. And obviously we are a business where kids are welcome anytime. So my kids grown up in the business, they know everyone, and people can bring in their kids, if they pick up from school and then they have to come back and do a couple of things. We're very flexible. And I always try to remind everyone to not miss those little milestones, like with the kids, like, don't miss the assembly when they're talking, or the ballet concert and things, just because of work, because work will always be there. It's just being flexible. So we try to be very flexible, because most of our employees are women.